This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
All right, today we've got a HVACR cooler. This is the top section. They're kind of complaining about that, but I don't think that's our big problem. I think our big problem is down at the bottom. So the bottom is warm. It's like 60 degrees in here, and it just doesn't seem to be getting cold. But what's interesting, the temp control has absolutely no display. So that's intriguing. So let's open this up and have a look in here. So power's still on, and all I did was just pull the cover off. And look right away, that looks like the neutral wire for the 115 volt temp control. And it looks like it broke off from wherever it's supposed to go. But look at that jumbled mess of wiring. Okay, we got power turned off. We're gonna get in here and try to make sense of this jumbled wiring. Maybe shorten some stuff up if possible. I don't know. But clearly this broke off from somewhere. Now we don't know if this is gonna fix the controller or not. We're gonna get that done first. I'm like awkward. My neck is killing me right now. So we're trying to consolidate wiring. It's kind of a hard, difficult task, but we're getting in here and we're shortening wires, consolidating them, running them in a better way. So all the neutrals essentially are gonna connect up in that little area up there instead of having this big old jumbled mess of wires in here. That's the attempt at least. So my coworker's going out to get a few things from the van, some wire, some fittings, so that way we can make it a little bit nicer. In a perfect world, I don't know if I'm going to get to do this, but I'd like to make everything right here quick connect, so that way you can pull this whole cover off when you're working on it. So that's kind of the plan here if I can. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and turn on the power. I think we're safe. We're still not done consolidating, but we're just testing. Is that on? Yeah. Okay, turn it off. Something is disconnected somewhere. Something happened. Something ain't right. Grr. See, this is why we're testing, so that way we don't get lost. All right, let me stare at it for a minute. Okay, it works. I heard the solenoid valves kick on. I think we just have a loose wire, because now we got a display. Let's see. 35, 3, okay. All right, well, we're gonna keep with our consolidation then. Let's go ahead and turn off the breaker again. Okay, this isn't the prettiest thing, but you can see everything's kind of consolidated more up top, more room to work here. I put quick connects on the whole temp control and on the plug, you know, so it's just a little bit easier. So now we're gonna turn it back on, verify the unit actually works. All right, let's see if anything blows up. Go for it. Evap fan motors on both of them. Let's listen for 2 solenoids. I heard one for sure, but I need to verify the other one's on. So we're gonna get in there and then we'll verify. So all that I'm gonna do is just get in here and run it on and off and just double check I can hear it over here. All right, we got 2 sets of ears here. So I'm listening for the left, my coworker, Andy's listening for the right. Here we go. So it's gonna shut off. What the heck? Oh, this thing's bad. The buttons don't work. Gosh darn it. We're gonna end up changing it after all. I mean, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, the buttons don't work on the control, so we gotta change it. We're gonna see if we can feel. It feels cold, so I'm pretty confident it's working. But yeah, we gotta change that control because the buttons don't work. We're gonna try one more thing. We're gonna turn the power off and then turn it back on, and I'll stick my head in there. Okay, wait a second. Okay, go ahead and turn it on. That's hard, I can't tell. I can't tell if it's coming on or not. All right, that's why we can't hear it, because there's not 2 solenoids. So yeah, it's feeding. We've got a frosting coil. All right, so we're good on that. That's good. So we can put that back on, and then I'm gonna change this control now. One big thing that I did here is that I made this completely removable now. So changing this temp control is gonna be a million times easier because I can pull this whole cover out now. This other control is modified and it has a hole in the back, so I'm gonna set the new one right on top of it, trace out the hole, and then that way I drill it and it goes in the identical spot. All right, we got it all wired back in, connected. Did our best to clean everything up, put some new screws and stuff. So we're running now, so now we just need to see it come down to temp, and we also need to make sure that the cold rail solenoid is working. So we're gonna actuate the time clock and make sure we can hear it clicking. All right, go ahead. Good. Okay, I heard the cold rail solenoid valve energized, so we know we wired that right too, so that's a good sign. All right, last but not least, we're just waiting for it to come down to temp, so I've got a thermometer up in here so we can confirm that it's reading accurate. These rails are all messed up too. And I've also got a thermometer down in here so we can confirm this one's reading accurate. This one says 41. This one says 42. That's close enough. It's like, yeah, it's reading 42 now down here. So we know this one's working now. While the system's running, we're gonna come up here to the rack and we're gonna visually inspect that we've got a clear sight glass. We've got a cold suction line coming back to the compressor. Sight glass is right back there. You got a nice Sporlan seal. It's nice and clear. I do not see the need to put service gauges on this because we're not looking at a refrigeration problem necessarily. I believe us to just have an electrical problem. So that's, yeah, I'm confident that this is working good. But again, we're gonna watch it come down to temp. When we walk up to these calls, again, we don't know what we're walking into. We have a general idea based on the service call, but I don't know till I get there. So understanding the sequence of operation and how the systems operate is key to being able to diagnose these systems, right? So I knew that this reach-in setup was a remote system. I knew that the condensing unit or the rack was up on the roof with the compressor. And I was using logic. There's multiple circuits. It's a multiplex system, okay? So the section I was working on was the cook's base section. Then you have the cook's pan chiller, cold rail section. And then you have the waitress base section. So the fact that the waitress base section and the cook's pan chiller was working properly, but just the one side kind of led me to that path that, hey, this is an electrical problem. But when I opened the doors and I saw no power at the temperature controller, I knew something was up. So, you know, pulled the cover off and then saw that single neutral wire, and I'm like, okay, cool. So we got an issue here, but we don't just stop there. And I have slowly been looking for an excuse to rewire the inside of those evaporators because they're spaghetti mess. Now, it's not perfect the way that I left it, but it was better than it was. There was a lot less wires, a lot less chaos, and it's serviceable now. So now we can pull that front cover plate off if we got to do evaporator changeouts and stuff. If you've ever dealt with those Kyracs from the factory, you kind of got to just move that lid over, prop something behind it so it doesn't fall over while you're in there trying to braze. So now we could just pull the whole thing out, right? So we took our time, we found that there was an electrical problem, we cleaned up some wiring inside that box, and we were able to put it all back together. We did confirm that the temp control was problematic because the buttons weren't working right, so we went ahead and changed that, and all was well after that. The box came down to temperature. I've actually been back there a few times working on different things since then, and customers been happy, all is well. So I really appreciate you taking it, or making it to the end of the video. Thank you so very much. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Definitely helps out the channel. If you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do so is watch the videos from beginning to end. But you can also, if you choose to do so, support the channel via PayPal, Patreon, or YouTube channel memberships. There's links in the show notes of this video. And forgive me, there is a helicopter flying over me that feels the need to interrupt my video. YouTube channel memberships, all that, link in the show notes, okay? You can also go to my website, HVACRvideos.com, where we have merchandise available, such as these hats right here. And last but not least, I have an affiliate program set up through TrueTechTools.com. So if you go to TrueTechTools.com, you can, if you purchase any tools from there, what you can do is use my affiliate code, which is big picture, one word, okay, at checkout. Now that code doesn't apply to a few things on their website, but applies to the majority of the stuff. And when you use that, when it goes through, I get a small commission from that too. So you get a nice little discount, I get a small commission. If you guys haven't checked out TrueTech Tools before, definitely do it. That's TrueTechTools.com. Great company, great people, so definitely want to check them out. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you, and hope to catch you on the next one.